Hey, very good evening to you traders. Mark here from Daytrading Room. It's approaching the close on Friday evening, so it's about 10 to 9 London time. Done trading for the day. Just sort of compile this video as I captured a little bit of footage of a trade I did earlier in the day. So I wanted to review that, talk through that, and some of the ideas behind it, why I did what I did, and we'll just evaluate that trade in some detail. First of all, let's just get some background. If you weren't trading today, let me give you some background on what the market was doing. A very narrow overnight range, gap non-existent, about 10 ticks, something like that to the upside. But the prior day gave us a little bit of a clue. If you look at the top right of your screen there, you can see the 5-minute chart. That's gives us a bit of a clue that in reality, I wanted to stay at a long bias. You know, we'd driven down quite aggressively a Thursday morning. Excuse me, we put in a lower low, and then we'd rallied from that, and we came to the VWAP, and basically once we took the VWAP, we undid quite a lot of the damage to the downside. And so that really was keeping me stuck with a long bias, and especially overnight, when we saw the overnight range not really penetrating back into towards those lows, it was quite happy up near to the close on Thursday. So I had a long bias. I thought we'd been a bit of a range bound market, to be honest, so my thesis was really to look for longs on probes down, so any sort of double bottom type pattern, any push towards some sort of support from the prior day, that sort of thing. We're going to look for a second test and then just look to buy some, scale out into the mean reversion or into highs. So that was really the idea in the day, but we didn't get that. And from the open, and this is what I'll always do, at the open I want to look for strength, I want to look for volume, I want to look for some unusual activity that says, you know what, your thesis is actually wrong, we're not going to be starting to probe to the downside yet, you may have to change your strategy. And that's pretty much exactly what happened today. And I'm always open to the idea of there being some sort of opening drive, and if there's some sort of opening drive that ticks all the boxes that I want, then I'm going to look to buy a pullback. You know, I'm going to scrap the idea of buying on a push down, because obviously we've driven hard, and then I'm going to look to join that opening drive on a pullback. So it's almost like a reactive trade. I'm not reacting and seeing it and diving straight in, but I'm saying, okay, let's put the plan on hold for the time being. You now need to look to join this on some sort of unwinding. I'm not going to be chasing it, but I want to look to join it on some sort of unwinding. So this is exactly what's happened here now. You can see now, so I started the recording, I'm long from 947, and if I get the drawing pan out here, I will show you exactly why that is. We've driven up, we've taken out the prior day's high, which is the dotted green line here, we've pulled back and retraced. I've now gone along at 47, and the market has now started to push up through that high. Now, because I like the drive so much, because we've held above the prior day's high, because we've had this tick pull back to zero, all the things that I like to see on that sort of trade, I want to build this position. I've talked about this before in terms of building a position around a core. So that may mean adding as we go to highs, that may mean adding a little bit. I'll be very, very cautious. I'm not going to be scaling in, averaging down blindly, but if we put a wick down here to the VWAP, push up, that sort of thing, then I will look to add. So I'm looking to build around a core position, and it also means I'm going to be scaling out of some, scaling into some, but keeping a general core long until I think the moves run out, or until it's hit my final target, whatever that may be. I'm going to adjust that target as the market chugs along, or until it stops me out and pushes lower. So that's really what I'm doing with this trade at the moment in time. So I'm long, I've got a core position long here from 47, and that buy order you can see there at 53 is not a stop, it's a buy. I'm looking to buy on a retracement. You know, we've pushed up, I've actually already taken some off as we pushed into the highs, and I'm now looking to rebuy. I didn't capture that first part of it. I'm looking to rebuy. This is the core position. I've already scaled some off as you'd expect on that sort of move, and I'm looking now to rebuy as we come back, and we've tagged this 20 period. So I'm looking for some sort of wick to get in, but I'm also happy for me to add if I see some strength coming in. And actually, when I've started this recording now, what's happened is this guy here, 200 lot, stepped in at 58. Actually, he'd stepped in at 56, if I believe. He jumped up to 57, jumped up to 58, and we're going to see what happens now. So I'm going to play the tape, and we'll see. He then steps up. Now, if you see, as soon as 59 gets taken, he goes best bid at 59. I think, okay, great. this is my opportunity now to add those extras on that I took off with the highs. So I've still got that bid in at 53, but I'm happy to buy some here because I've seen the strength coming in. So then buy some, see that going through at 60. So this is really now me just scaling to position and just judging what I'm seeing on the screen and what's in front of me and reacting to tape. I'm happy to buy there at 53 again. I just, as I say, I'm now looking for new highs. I think we are going to revisit highs. It's got the strength here, and so that's what I'm playing for. We've got a bit of a high volume node there at the 66 level, so I'm a little bit, aware of that. But ultimately, I've already had some off the table. I'm now looking for another push up. We'll see what the market does. We'll see how the market plays out. So what I end up doing there, I'm not sure what I'm doing now. I think what I'm doing is I've cancelled that 53 and I'm saying, okay, let me assess the situation if it comes down here. There is the VWAP there. I've got to consider that. That's sitting there at 46. So, maybe 53 is a little bit tight on that one. So I think that's why I pulled that there, and I've gone, okay, maybe if I can get some around the 49s to 45 level, if it looks okay still, then that may be a better place to look to position. So let's fast forward it now anyway, because it ends up just chopping around here. There's not really an awful lot to say. So I've already recorded this and rendered it to a video. I'm just fast forwarding now. So I start to stick anyway. There's just my targets. I start sticking some at 74, some at 76, and I think I put some off screen at 99. In other words, I'm just looking for a revisit to highs, just to break through, just go into those short stops, and then for a further continuation to the upside. So that's how I'm positioning, but I would like some more if we do dip down and the tape still looks good. I'm not just going to buy blindly on a dip down because I could be caught on a full reversal, but if it dips down and looks good, then I'm going to buy some. So anyway, I'm watching here now, and I'm seeing we're sticking a little bit, and then, as I say, I'm not averse to taking some out, and if it means it carries on without me and I've still got a chunk, that's fine. If I get to buy that back lower, then that's fine. I'm just working around the position, buying into red, selling into green, using the trend as my backup, if you like. So we keep getting stuck here at this 64 to 66 level. You can see there's a lot of sellers coming on, a lot of green on the time of sales, but the fives sort of lifting, coming back on, lifting, coming back on, and I'm giving it a bit of time. This is the market conditions we're in. You have to give these trades a little bit of time to work. Perfect scenario, they just pull back and blast straight off, but at the moment in time we're getting this consolidation. You have to be a little bit patient with the trade while it's working for you. Make it work, let it run. And so I stick a sell order in there at 65, and I cancel that one at 74. Think, okay, I'd like to get some out 65 here. It trades there, but it doesn't fill me. Actually, I don't think it did trade there. I might have done one down below. I didn't see it there, but anyway, it didn't fill me. It doesn't, regardless of it trade there or not. I was back at the queue. Should have had it in earlier. It doesn't fill me. So I go, okay, that's just really based on I just want to take some off the table and maybe look to get it back on lower. When it backs away from me, I don't want to take it off really at 61, so I cancel that order and I say, okay, well, let's just, that was only based on a very short-term tape move. Let's reassess. Maybe I'll take it off again if it comes back up there, or maybe I'll look for some more. Maybe I'll end up taking it off lower. I don't know. At this moment in time, I'm just reading what's in front of me, looking at the screen, knowing I've got a call long position, knowing I'd like to build some more, but also knowing that I'm not going to take a opportunity to take some off if the tape looks like it's stalling into highs. I'm not going to just stubbornly hold on to it. So that's the way I'm playing it. Yeah, so let's fast forward the tape again now. So we're sitting there and you can see exactly what's going on. We fast forwarded a bit. I think we sort of rocked down a bit. We're just, really just sitting there doing not a lot. As you can see, fast forwarding, nothing much is happening. Just still sitting with the trade. Let's fast forward it again and maybe we can find a place where it pushes to highs. I'm just bringing the 5 here to show you. And maybe we'll buy some more if we break through that little downtrend line that I draw. We all know about that method of entering on the pullback. I'm just going to play it by ear. I'm just going to see how it goes and trade it accordingly. So we're trying now to push through this 65. It's a bit of a line in the sand. It's a bit of a struggle for it. You know, let's see if it can do it. Let's see if it can do it. So I decided to take some out there at 66, and do I get filled on this? I think I'm pretty sure I do get filled on it. Yeah, I finally get filled on that one there. Managed to get a batch out at 66. So but just because it keeps stalling there, just keeps stalling and stalling there, and I'm not averse, as I say, to putting more back on if I need to, lower down, and I'm not averse either to taking it out if it pushes into highs. I'm just basically leaning on the trend, staying with a long bias and working with that. So let's fast forward again even more, and we'll see where we are. Okay, so we are still loitering around here. I've just brought up again the 5 minute just to show you know, what's going on here. Again, it's exactly the same scenario. Let me fast forward again until we get to some interesting action. Yeah, okay, let me just zip back on that to talk about what I have done there. And pause that. This is my buy zone basically. I've drawn this little rectangle in and said, okay, I'm happy to buy anywhere in there. Anywhere below that, I don't really want to be in a trade. A wick below, fine, but anywhere below that, yeah, no, that's no good. But that's my buy zone. I'm going to add to the position there if everything's acting okay still. So this is what I do actually now. I think, okay, that's a nice place to buy. I still bullish on this. I'm going to, you know, stagger some orders in there at 51, 50, you know, 49s or whatever, just around that VWAP. We start to push up. You can see I've got an order right up there at 13.99, 9.99, looking for a real extension on the day, and I've also got a batch in to sell there at 76. So here we go. We're starting to push the highs. We're starting to push the highs. It's looking good. I like the tape strength. Ticks are struggling a little bit at 500, but if we can take out highs, then I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to get some off at 76, and then we'll see what happens. You know, maybe I'll buy another pullback. Maybe I'll just hold on to it. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just waiting for this high to see how it tests there. Now, you'll see what happens in a second. It's struggling, but it's holding. Happy to hold, happy to hold, happy to hold. Still looking for that push through, maybe pause and then explode to the upside, but at the moment it's just holding. We've got a buyer stepping in there. We've got a 200 lot coming at 69. That looks good to me. I see him. You can just see me highlighting him there and saying, okay, he's holding. People are stepping in front of him. He's not been filled. I'm still happy to stay long, still happy to stay with the trade, but of course I'm there hovering over the depth of market in case, you'll see what happens in case this happens. So the 71's a bit of a struggle. Finally it goes bid. I think now's the time it's going to break. Let's see some offers taken. There we go, offers get taken. It prints 75s. I'm holding. I'm still in there at 76. I'm there at 76. It's holding. There's a seller there at 74. You can see him accumulating. I think he's been taken. I'm watching now. I'm watching very carefully now because this is a new high just. I'm watching now. I want to see that 74 hold. The 76 goes offer, doesn't print. And I think, hang on, we've stayed here for far too long now. I'm starting to get a little bit uncertain. You can see exactly what I do now. I put my sell order that I had at 76 there. I get filled on it and cancel the 76. So basically, I've seen that selling at 74. I've seen it just about do a new high. No new buyers have stepped in. I think this is a fake out. So I've taken that order I had in at 76 off the table and I've put it in at 74 just based on the tape and what I've seen there. And that really was the end of the move. Stop the recording there, and this is basically what happened. This is the chart. I captured the chart just as I was doing the video prior, but this is what happened. That was the high of the move. We rolled over. Obviously I cancelled all those buys then at the VWAP because it's no longer valid at that point. Once we've done a fake out to the high, you know, the game's changed, and then up taking the rest of the position off in the 60s as it rolled down. You know, if you're getting a complete change in sentiment signal, then you know, that's the end of the trade as far as I'm concerned. You know, I think, okay, let's ditch it, let's reassess at the VWAP, let's not automatically buy there, but let's just see what happens. Maybe we can get back in, maybe we can take another trade later on in the day. So yeah, nice trade, worked out well. Just to summarize, long based on the first opening drive on the pullback there, scaling out, started the video capture around here at the highs, looking to buy, added to the position, scaled out a bit as we struggled at that 66 level, had an offer in at 76 and ultimately 99, obviously that didn't get filled. 76 didn't get filled, came out at 74, and the trailing just came down, realised that it was just consolidating there, isn't it? Unlikely to revisit the highs, and if it did, I really you know, I thought ultimately that was it, especially with the ticks as well doing this, struggling at 500, you know, so giving it a little bit more room, but ultimately coming out there and taking the trade out. So yes, again, another example of a trade that didn't work out exactly as I wanted. It would have been nice to break cleanly through and have a real good trend day, but that's the market conditions. Take what's in front of you, work around it, have the bias, have the idea, have the theme, take some risk off the table early on, and then see if you can get some more juice out of it. And if not, you know, just constantly tweaking, adjusting the trade, playing around the tape, using the tape to your advantage, but you know, working around your core position. So yeah, that's a video capture for you, and hopefully I'll do some more of those next week if I can get some good footage. So have a good weekend, traders. Keep that risk managed, and I shall be back with another video very shortly. Take care.